Grown-ups are so weird. They don't understand the simple, little yet important things in life. Grown-ups are boring, so annoying. Grown-ups always complain. Do you know why is it so? So this is a tale of The Little Prince, written by a French writer whose work has been translated into many languages. And should you read this book because it is the most amazing book and also celebrated worldwide. The story is written in the child's perspective, but there is a deep meanings imbibed in it about solitude, friendship, love and loss, etc. Anybody of the age could easily understand that in an incredibly amazing way because it's just that brilliant. The story goes on like he meets several weird grown-ups and he observes their human condition. But he never satisfies with their viewpoints. He first meets a king who was like very authoritarian and snobbish too. He sought power and status. Then he meets the clown who kept boasting about himself. And he sought admiration all the time. Then he meets a drunk man who was just lazy and the businessman who only talks figuratively, that is in numbers. The geographer understands the things that was only temporary. So upon meeting those weird grown-ups, the little prince draws conclusion about life that everything those grown-ups have accomplished rings hollow. Life is meaningless to them when they only seek self-praises, self-authority all the time. And that the true meaning of the life comes bringing up light into another. So it is just a brilliant book that just gives us the insight of child's perspective of life. Especially at the times when the life is so dark and hard, it just gives us a hope and imagination. It brings us the curiosity and imagination. At times when the novella becomes funny, at a point there's a charming sense of humor you'd value very much. So it's the greatest book ever written with such simplicity. If in one word I have to describe it, it's simply profound, amazing, beautiful, charming, and simply life-changing. Every time you will read this book, depending on what phase of life you are in or what state of mind you are in, you will certainly value more. In the course of this life, I have had a great many encounters with a great many people who have been concerned with the matters of consequence. I have seen them intimately, close at hand, and that hasn't much improved my opinion of them. It is on the account of the grown-ups and their ways. When you tell them that you have made a new friend, they never ask you any questions about essential matters. They never say to you, what does his voice sound like? What games does he love best? Does he collect butterflies? Instead, they demand, how old is he? How many brothers has he? How much does he weigh? How much money does his father make? Only from these figures do they think they have learned anything about him. If you were to say to the grown-ups, I saw a beautiful house made of rosy brick with geraniums in the windows and doves on the roof, they would not be able to get any idea of that house at all. You would have to say to them, I saw a house that cost $20,000. Then they would exclaim, oh, what a pretty house. I would try to find out, so if this was a person of true understanding, by showing him my drawing number 1. But whoever it was, he or she, would always say, this is a hat. Then I would never talk to that person about boa constrictors or forest or stars. I would bring myself down to his level. I would talk to him about bridge and golf and politics and neckties. And the grown-up would be greatly pleased to have met such a sensible man. Grown-ups always need the things to be explained to them, and it's tiresome for a child to explain every time. Can't they understand themselves? There are millions of analogies and metaphorical messages, lessons that could drawn from The Little Prince. Never lose your imagination and curiosity. Hold on to things that matter to you, especially at the times when life is dark and hard, like in case of author it was creativity. Never die the child in you. Childhood is magic and most people lose. Some find it hard to pull up from abyss when they grow up. Spend time with your rose. You're forever responsible for what you have tamed. Like in case of Prince, it was rose, fox, snake and author. Love is hard. You should judge by the actions and not the words of the people. Like in case of Little Prince eating fox, become vulnerable and responsible for you. What you see is invisible to the eye. What you see was a box. What you felt was sheep. This is the way you make decisions, the way you talk, interact with the people and the world. Cherish the happy moments. To accept the happiness is accept the risk of the sadness for loss. Fox, snake, author, all of us are vulnerable. That is the painful, difficult thing. Love is life. Memory doesn't fade away. Memory continue to grow longer even later in the life. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe, like and share. There are two TED Talks about the grown-ups, which is a bonus for this video. Do check the links in the description box.